Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Look, not a lot that's been popping off over the last 12 hours or 24 hours. There's some bits and pieces of news that's floating about, which I want to touch base with you guys. And just like always, I want to know what you guys are feeling about some of this news in the comment section. Let me know. Look, quite a lot that we've done on this channel over the past couple of days. There's been some really good collaboration. If you haven't seen it as yet, check out the latest episode of The Aftermath, where I had a conversation with Ishan. You're going to really enjoy that. And check out the conversation I just had earlier today, UK time, 10 a.m. with Robert, who I don't always see eye to eye with on social media. Check that conversation out, which was earlier on today on my channel live stream. Very, very good conversation with Robert. So check those two pieces of content out. You're going to really, really enjoy. Now, without further ado, let's get on the latest. There's a picture of Anselmino. Some of you guys must be thinking, Miz, what's going on? What's happening? Well, this is what's happening. This is the latest. There's some rumors that's floating about that maybe Chelsea could recall him back in the January transfer window. He's on loan to Dortmund. Me personally, I wouldn't touch anything at the moment. I'd keep him there, let him continue developing. He seems like he's enjoying this at the moment, injured as well. So I don't know how much it's going to be beneficial for us to call him back. But this is the latest news. Chelsea have a January recall option for Aaron Anselmino, but Dortmund expect Chelsea not to activate it. But the final decision is with the Blues. The player is happy in Dortmund. So, look, I think he's been doing really well. The Dortmund manager over there really rates him too. The way he deploys him in a back three. I think predominantly he plays as an RCB. There has been a couple of times where he's played LCB, but I think predominantly he's playing RCB. And he's done well. Every time he's got the opportunity to feature for Dortmund, he's actually done very well. He scored a goal, I think, a couple of weeks ago too for Dortmund. And overall, look, his quality from that RCB or from that defensive standpoint has been immense. Technically, he's been very good. He's got very good, pace, good recovery pace, technical ability in abundance. And as I said, like when a manager rates you so much, you're a player that's on loan to Dortmund. Generally, the ideology behind loan players is that you don't really use them that much, because why should I go out there and develop someone else's player? But Dortmund seems to like Anselmino a lot. I don't know whether we're going to keep Anselmino down the track. Is this one of those situations where, we're going to profit on a young player? We bought him for cheap. Very good talent from Boca Juniors. And we've now placed him at Dortmund for, the rest of the Europe to have a look at. And Dortmund seems like, we've got a good relationship. Kani Chukwuemeka, Gittins, although Gittins obviously not worked out as yet, but there seems to be a very, very good relationship with Dortmund at the moment with Chelsea Football Club. And maybe that relationship might continue with Anselmino. Me personally, look, I wouldn't make any decision whether to let go of Anselmino or not right now. I think there could be a very special talent here. Someone who's got the capacity to play out from the back. His ball-playing ability is very good. And someone who, he's no mug when it comes to getting stuck in from a defensive standpoint. He is Argentinian. He's got that dog in him. These Argentinian players, they don't shy away from battle. So look, I wouldn't make any decision about letting go of Anselmino unless it's something ridiculous coming from Dortmund, but which we know it's never going to happen. Dortmund never pay that type of money. I would not call him back. I think there's some rumors that maybe Chelsea might call him back and then send someone else on an international loan. We'll see. But I think right now, with all the players, the injured players slowly returning back, like so Buddy Ishil, Wesley Fofana seems like he's found a level where he can stay fit. I don't think we need any more centre-backs at the moment, because someone like Achapong is not even getting game time, let alone bringing back Anselmino. He's definitely not going to get game time. Unless we're thinking, let's bring back Anselmino and then send him to a domestic loan as opposed to an international loan, which opens up a space internationally. So, look, me personally, I'll keep him at Dortmund, let him continue learning his trade in the Bundesliga. I know Bundesliga, not the best place to learn your defensive attributes, because from a defensive standpoint, Bundesliga is actually quite weak, I believe. But nonetheless, it's experience at the highest level. He's also, Dortmund are also featuring in the Champions League. So hopefully, once he's back from his injury, he can slot back in to Dortmund's setup again. Right now, he's doing really well. Let him continue that way. I would not meddle with this one bit. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? What do you feel about Anselmino? Do you think he can be a Chelsea level player down the track? Do you want to recall him back? Do you think he needs to be in the setup of Chelsea right now? Or do you think let him continue with Dortmund? Leave your comments in the comment section. Next up, Axel Disasi will leave Chelsea in January with several clubs already on alert. He's been offered as an option to AC Milan, but no talks or concrete negotiations are taking place at this stage. So look, Disasi, you need to move on. Yeah, your career at Chelsea Football Club's over. There's a recent clip that's going around where he got bamboozled in the under-21s as well. Came up against, I can't remember who it is, I think might have been PSG in the under-21s Champions League, and the PSG under-21s player absolutely took the mick out of Disasi. So Disasi, rectify your career somewhere else. If it's AC Milan, fantastic. There is no room at Chelsea Football Club. It's been a disaster, this transfer. This is where people can say, well, sporting directors, you did too much. You did too much here. There was no need for both Disasi and Badiashile as well. It's not like he's really lit it up too. So Disasi, horrendous transfer for us. There's probably the only one match where he did well, which was against Manchester City a couple of seasons back where he did really well. I think it was the 3-3 where he defended well. I can't remember. I think it might have been the 3-3. But there was that one match where Disasi did well. And besides that, to be honest, Disasi was poor. Maybe it might have been last season earlier on. I don't know. Bottom line, Disasi, there is no room for you at Chelsea Football Club. Now, some really interesting comments from Gary Neville that I wanted to touch base on, see what you guys have to say about this. New from Gary Neville. I just get the feeling they aren't going to get where the ownership want, and that's not the fault of the manager or players. They should have built a squad to win now. They've built a squad to grow, but problem is you grow, and then you're never quite there because the other teams are cold-hearted killers at times. Chelsea needs some beasts in their team. They're not nasty to play against or hard to break down. I think their owners need to intervene and give the young players in the squad a real spine and some real fierce characters. Coming from Gary Neville, look, there's certain things I agree. There's certain things you're doing too much. You're doing too much. When he talks about young players, you need to intervene and give the young players in the squad a real spine. Come on, man. We need to stop dropping this young. There's a lot of players we've gone through. Check out the lineup against Newcastle. There's a lot of players that are above 24, man. There's a lot. And don't worry about the age. Look at the amount of experience they've got in the Premier League as well. So we have to start talking accurately. I think we get too caught up with all of these, every other day we buy the next 16-year-old, 17-year-old. We just keep thinking that's what the squad's all about. I'm not denying the fact that the squad's not young. I'm not denying that. But I think this whole narrative in the media driving this young, there's ample experience. Cucurella, Reece James, do you know what I mean? Chalobah, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro. There's ample experience, man. Pedro Neto is ample experience. So don't give me that. The squad with a real spine. Okay, yeah, sure. Do we have a really, really good spine? Probably not. But nonetheless, you've got players in the ilk of Caicedo, Reece James, Cucurella. Robert Sanchez has turned his fortunes around as well. Cole Palmer, you can build something. It's not like the spine is totally nothing there. There's something there that you can slowly build on. So I'm not going to say that, Chelsea's got nothing. Then he goes on to say, Chelsea needs some beast in their team. They're not nasty to play against. Really? Whenever we come up against top teams, we seem to annihilate them. We seem to suffocate them. It's against the little teams. For some reason, it's heat. I don't think it's the fact that we don't have beast. I think there's an ample amount of beast. You're telling me Caicedo is not a beast. You're telling me Cucurella doesn't move like a beast. Reece James is literally beast James. There's a lot of mongrels out there. Pedro Neto works his backside off. I was going to say ass. Well, yeah, I just said it. There's a lot of players that give it their best. Our issue is consistency and mentality, and that's something I feel like the management should drive. Make them strong here, because same team can drop a diabolical match against Newcastle in the first half, and the same team can then come up second half and become all of this hard to play against, become very, very difficult, become a beast. Look at the two halves of Newcastle match. So the quality and that nature is there. How do we hone in and make sure that it's there all the time? Yeah, that's the tough one. All this other stuff, building a squad to win now, of course, us fan base would love for the owners to build a squad to win right now. But at the same time, and I'm not, trying to take these, I'm not trying to sort of support or side with them. No, I wish that they did build a squad like that. But at the same time, I think we need to understand why they went this route as well. There's a lot of players that we screwed up and paid a lot of money for. We don't make enough money as well as a club in terms of revenue. So they've gone down this route where let's try and pick out talented players, let's invest, and let's hope that they become the superstars down the track. So there are certain things I like what Gary Neville has said here. There's certain things I don't think is quite right completely. I think the squad right now is at least 6 points less than where it really should be. And I think a good part of it, Enzo Maresca could have done a lot more with this squad. That's my true, honest feeling. Taking nothing away from the sporting directors and owners, where they definitely could have done more in the last summer window to equip Enzo Maresca with a little bit more artillery. But where we are right now, I feel we are underachieving. Gary Neville, it's really obvious that Maresca is a fantastic coach, and it's really obvious that there is a group of players who are really young with fantastic potential. I just wonder whether Maresca could just change the model slightly. He's been brought in to work with these players, but you do not but you do need an experienced spine. You watch Chelsea first half and they look like an academy team that's playing in a participation game. It's not really a serious, aggressive, horrible fixture. You watch them in the second half and they look like a thrill. If you had some more experience down that spine and some higher quality in certain positions, they would be very different proposition. Look, I agree. Overall sentiment, I agree. But let's not pretend it's a numpty team. Yes, the first half, it did look like, we didn't want to be there. I think we need to try and get to the bottom of why does it become like that? How can we just switch on and switch off? What's happening? How can the same team switch on to be monstrous and the same team can switch off to be timid? How is that happening? And the team has shown against bigger teams. The current squad has shown against bigger teams we can be unbelievable. So how is this happening? You can't tell me it's quality that is hampering us against Leeds, against Atalanta, against Karabakh, against Bournemouth, against Sunderland, against so many teams that we've dropped points against. You can't tell me it's quality. It's something else. It's here. We need to come to matches correct. That's how I look at it. And as I said, I think this is where you got to create a siege mentality. You got to create, a stronger us versus them. You got to not, like the way Enzo Maresca sometimes talks in the media, it's almost as if deep down he doesn't truly believe in the squad either. And I wish he did believe in it a lot more, and just went to war for the squad all the time and gave them that, war type of mentality at all times. And I'm not really sure whether he does that. So that's my gripe at the moment. And because if we did that, I think we'd be a lot better. I'm not saying we'd go out there and win the Premier League, but we'd be a lot better, a lot closer to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about some of the stuff that Gary Neville has said? What do you think about Anselmino? What do you think about Disasi as well? Comment below, smash up the like button if you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya. Bye.